Hello, welcome to the Bloodshed. These are my normal restoration type projects that you would normally be seeing on my channel, but today I'm doing something a little bit different. It's a lot bigger, and you will see it when I disappear out the bloodshed and appear somewhere else. As you can see, this is my next project. It's a 2003 Suzuki Carry. It needs work, so I'll give you a quick guided tour around it and tell you roughly what I'm going to be hoping to achieve with it. It needs a clutch, which is the long and short of it. Amongst other things, that is probably going to be the biggest job. As you can see, or you soon will, plenty of rust to go round. We'll get into the interior. My main other cause of concern, apart from the clutch, is the amount of wiring in here. It's had all sorts of stuff fitted in, USB chargers, etc. All that's going to be coming out, and all this will be redone. It'll be starting from afresh. But yeah, it's got electrical fitting. That goes all the way through to the front bonnet, if you can call it a bonnet. And there it is there. That again will all be coming out, and I'll just be starting afresh. It does drain the battery quite badly, and I believe this thing here, which is nicely duct taped on, is a concern which is causing it. That's probably going to be one of my first issues regarding the electrics. Just rip that out, and the bird's nest that follows it of wiring. It's just like a bowl of spaghetti in there. That's enough of that. The engine is under there. The one side is the airbox, the throttle body, dipstick, etc. The other side is the engine on the passenger side. It does need a very good clean as well. Quite dusty, and there is a bumblebee as well who's doing a quick inspection. Don't think he's that impressed. The vent on the roof is leaking as well, so that is something that's going to have to be addressed. New sealant, so that's going to have to come apart before we can even consider doing anything else. The headlining is probably going to come out as well. In fact, it will do. It will come out and get cleaned up. I might do it in situ, but I think with the wiring and everything else, it would be an idea just to do that. On the plus side, it's all covered out with ply and whatever material this is. Looks like quite a hard wearing thing, so that's been good. The reason the cover is off the boot or the tailgate is because the lock was sticking. So other than C's brakes, the lock mechanism there is still not working brilliantly, so we're going to have to do something with that as well. It does work now and it does lock, but again we've got USB ports all over, and electrics bits and pieces. So the main thing next is take the battery home, because this is not stored at my house. Take the battery home, get it fully charged. Hopefully that'll work then. Start on the electrics, start on the clutch. It's going to be a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to be able to drive it home. I was hoping to get it driven home, but just driving it on the drive here, it doesn't select gear very well at all. Reverse is really bad, and forward is not too brilliant. So clutch first, which should be a relatively simple job. It's rear wheel drive, so it's drive shaft off, all the little bits and pieces, the electrics off, then undo the bell housing. I'm also going to do a rear diff oil change on it and a gearbox oil change, because there's absolutely no point in leaving that to chance at all. So I'll have to work out what the oils are and what I'm going to need. So I think this is going to be quite an expensive little project, judging from what I've seen so far. It was a category C write-off, or it is, back in 2005 from what I can believe. Near side footwell, or wheel arch, whichever one you want to say. This was apparently the source of the worst impact. I hope you can see this, but there's, let's see, rust going all the way down there. There's a lot of filler around this area here, and some nice bits of hand painting going on. So that's also going to be done. You can see possibly as well that the sills caved in slightly, and there is some damage underneath. Obviously with a category C write-off, it's not structural damage, it's just bodywork, so it can be put back on the road and repaired at cost. The simple thing is, with a category C as it was, if the cost of the bodywork was worth more than the cost of the vehicle, or the value of the vehicle, they would write it off. So that's all that's happened. Everything else drives okay, structurally it's fine. So yeah, let's see how this all goes. I'm feeling apprehensive at the moment. Okay, I'm back in the bloodshed now. I've got the Suzuki Carry battery fully charged up now. I'll be taking a reading in a minute, but what I want to do there is, I just want to see whether there's going to be any natural wastage from the, or significant wastage from the battery itself, which I'm pretty certain that isn't going to be the case. The reason I'm quite certain about that is because it's a relatively new battery. I've no reason to believe that the battery is fault, but it's a process of elimination. Anything with electrics can be a complete nightmare. The other option is it's possibly an undercharging alternator, so maybe the alternator isn't kicking out the voltage that it should be, and subsequently only partially charging the battery. I don't necessarily believe that's the case, and I'm certainly hoping it's not. And I probably should have done a voltage check on the battery and the alternator when it was running, but I didn't. The vehicle was in use on a daily basis, so I think it would have been more obvious. I think there would have been more starting issues. I do know the person I got the vehicle off, so I've no reason to doubt that that is the case. Obviously, the vehicle was left standing for about 2 or 3 weeks when I first came to into possession of it, and it shouldn't have lost that much voltage that it wouldn't start properly, but it did. So I'm suspecting the highly likely option is parasitic loss, which is basically where accessories or some other kind of item is taking the voltage out of the battery. And what I'll be doing here is I'll be taking another voltage, well, I'll be taking a voltage check now. I'll also be checking it in a little while time. I'm not expecting to see any drop at all, to be honest. Then what I'll do is I'll hook it up to the Carry, leave it on for about a week without using it, and then what I'll do is I'll check it again, and I am expecting to see some kind of loss there, which is roughly what I'm expecting. Just simply because of all the accessories. The alarm is the biggest thing for me. The alarm and the immobiliser, I want those off that vehicle. There's no reason for them to have it. I'd rather have a lock on it. I really don't believe that it's a high theft vehicle, but you never know, people will steal anything. So that's it. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be taking a voltage reading. I'll move you a little bit closer so you can actually see what it is I'm doing, and we'll take it from there. There we go. As you can see, multimeters reading 0, set to voltage, direct current. So all I'll do now is just connect the terminals, positive, negative, and let's see. Oh, there we go. 12.98 volts, which is pretty much what I'll be expecting to see for a charged battery. So yes, I'll leave it a few days. I'll try it afterwards, see whether there's any noticeable loss, and then hopefully that way I can rule out the potential of the battery being the issue, which, to be honest, I'm 90% certain it's not the battery at all. I'm back in the Carry, and I've brought the Carry battery over, and the news is it's dropped about 0.3 of a volt, which wasn't really what I was expecting. I was going to hook it up and see how quickly it drained, but to be honest, I'm just going to leave it in here and see how much more it drains. If it does, it might well be the battery's at fault. So we shall see how that goes. Right, I'm going to wrap up this episode of Suzuki Shenanigans. As you can see, I've picked up a couple of mattresses, £10 a pair, nicely wiped clean. Those will obviously have to be cut to size and reupholstered, and I will be using those for sliding bed, stroke folding bed, stroke seat, whatever I can really muster up the ideas for, really. Yeah, I've also managed to get part of a manual PDF download, so I've printed off some of the bits and pieces that will keep me going on that. So hopefully in the next episode will be clutch, all going well. That's on order. I've also ordered some new brakes, and we'll take it from there. So if you like, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, leave a comment if you want to, and share if you want to. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.